I travelled 11,000 miles to New Zealand to play a game of Airsoft, only to be turned away at immigration and sent straight back home. This is the story about what happens when online trolls attack. It's not just a story about me, but also part of a much bigger picture. Having enjoyed my flight on Qatar Airlines with no customs issues, it was all looking pretty good, but before I could enter New Zealand, I was pulled aside by immigration, questioned and ultimately refused entry at the border, leaving me stranded and needing to book a new flight home that same day without even leaving the airport. And the reason? Because someone contacted New Zealand authorities with claims about me that I was someone arriving in the country illegally. I was not visiting, I was, according to their report, being paid to attend an event. I was an illegal worker. Under the Immigration Act, New Zealand border officers only need a reasonable belief that someone is an illegal worker, not actual proof to refuse entry. Despite me showing the immigration officials my bank balance, receipts of me paying for the flights and receiving no payment to attend as a worker, they had an already prepared copy of an event promotion poster that they used as their proof that I would surely be paid to attend. And that was all they needed. Someone had set me up. It was a vexatious report and the New Zealand immigration were happy to oblige them. This didn't happen in a vacuum. It was not an accident or a mistake. And in this video, I want to talk about what I believe has driven someone to do this. For years, a part of the Airsoft community has normalised treating Kicking Mustang like a thing, not a person. It has become acceptable for some people to dehumanise me, to ridicule and to lie about me, throwing hate, and some even build entire online campaigns around it. There's rarely any pushback, and whenever there is pushback, the people who do the pushback are themselves targeted. They're removed from discussions or gaslit. On Reddit, the ability of the mob to downvote opposition ensures dissenting voices of reason are silenced, and in some Facebook groups my name is even banned, and I'm reduced to being called the YouTuber who shall not be named. It is, in effect, online bullying, total dehumanization, and is a witch hunt with no rationale or evidence-based debate. And when you dehumanize someone long enough, eventually the lies become believable. The most common proof or reason that is used by trolls and haters is that Kicking Mustang is banned from 20 or 30 or 60 or all of UK sites, whatever it is, and therefore that is proof that any accusation made must be true. Metal BBs, using air rifles, injuring women and children, cheating. No evidence? Well, it must surely be true if he's banned from so many fields. And those headshots? Well, of course, just go and watch my videos, they'll say. They ignore facts, they don't demand evidence, and this mysterious list of 43 fields that is often cited contains mostly fields that do not exist or have even been made up. That I've only ever visited 5 of the fields on this cited list, and at the 4 fields I have actually been banned from, they banned me because I posted headshot videos after their resident players complained so much about me that those 4 fields cancelled me. They've cancelled me for perfectly field legal play. And that is now used as justification for spreading lies about me. So this hate spreads in the community without pushback, and eventually, when you dehumanize someone long enough, those lies become believable. People start to feel justified making reports to their local fields, contacting authorities, and trying to sabotage your life because the person they're attacking, me, is not, in their eyes, a person anymore. I'm just an object of hate and derision, an avatar, a caricature, a target. And here's the question I keep asking myself, what is going to happen next? If online dehumanization keeps escalating, where does it end? Because I've already had people threaten physical violence against me multiple times. Almost 2 years ago when I went to ACS Airsoft's Noob Day event in America, one of those situations escalated into what has now become an ongoing police case involving a man called Dan Killip in the UK, who's the main instigator and orchestrator of many of these lies that are spread. A criminal case was put together against Dan Killip, but due to police mishandling in one police force, I have unfortunately become entrenched in a battle for justice for what cybercrime detectives in another police jurisdiction told me should have been a simple prosecution. That case has been dragged on now for almost 2 years, with UK authority, the OPCC, still reviewing how the police handled it. My battle is not just against the source of many of the lies that trolls spread, but it's now against the authorities who have mishandled the case. I'm going to be making a blog post going into the exact details of that in the coming weeks. So this is not really the kind of situation I want to be telling you about, which is why up until now I've not. I just want to play Airsoft, make epic ghillie sniper videos in amazing locations for you all to enjoy watching. But when people are conditioned to believe someone isn't human, they're just a villain, they start to feel justified doing extreme things, and that is what is now happening. And that's why I need to make this video. And I don't want to compare myself to Charlie Kirk. He's a huge political figure in a completely different world, but what happened to him is an example of what happens when dehumanization goes unchecked. He was targeted by someone who had been fed an online narrative that turned him into an enemy, not a person. That's what dehumanization does. It takes away empathy, it removes boundaries, it convinces unstable people that violence and extremism is justified. My situation is obviously nowhere near as extreme, but the pattern is the same. You strip a person of their humanity long enough, and sooner or later, someone takes it too far. So when New Zealand immigration tells me they've had a report that I'm entering the country to work, they believe that report, they question me for hours because of the lies told to them by the trolls. It is the end result of years of targeted hate. Years have been turned into a caricature, I guess turned into Kicking Mustang the villain, instead of James, the human being. I want to be absolutely clear that I don't think I blame the individual who reported me, not really. I blame the environment that has made them feel justified in doing it. I blame the culture that has been allowed to grow in the Airsoft community, a culture where trolling isn't just tolerated, it's actually encouraged. For example, the UK Airsoft Facebook community group, they have a rule in there that Kicking Mustang shall not be mentioned. If you mention my name, or you post pictures of me, or there's anything that includes me in any kind of discussion, it will be removed. So the most toxic members of the community here in the UK, in my opinion, are those people who run the groups and who facilitate that kind of hatred and cancellation. And you know what? The part that really kind of annoys me about this situation in New Zealand is my friend Airsoft Alphonse was going as well. He's there now, and he was interrogated in almost exactly the same way when he entered New Zealand, because he's on the same poster that was given to them by the trolls. He was given the same questions, put under the same suspicion. The difference is he was eventually let through, but I wasn't. We arrived for the same reasons, to play at the same event. The only difference was the specific information that was targeted at me by the trolls meant that I got cancelled, and Alphonse got dragged into it, but thankfully he managed to get through. Now, I've spent years trying to defend myself against harassment, misinformation and targeted campaigns. I've also tried to ignore it. I've spoken to solicitors as well about suing an organisation called First and Only Airsoft in the UK, who have spread some of the most vicious lies about me.
I don't want any of my players just to get shot and hurt in the face and bleed in the face for somebody to make a video. You know, I'm not going to put my players in that.
Even getting their staff members to threaten me and incite murder. The owner of their organisation actively rang individual sites around the UK asking them to join his campaign and to cancel me and to get me banned.
I contacted a few of the other sites in the northwest, and I've asked them where they stand on it. So what came about was we'd having discussions, and I wasn't massively aware, but there is a new list coming up of sites who are banning James from sites. They just do not want him to be on the sites. It's just not something we want to put, any site owner needs to or wants to put his place. And this is a decision site owners are going to have to make. And on this list, it's just going to be sites that say, no, you're not welcome, James. And that's it. And I am adding all First and Only sites to that. And you're just not welcome. You know what I mean? You're not welcome. And I think you're going to find a lot of sites in the UK are going to backlash like this. And the pressure is going to come on. And it's not going to be nice. But people are making a stand. And what I say to you is, stop. Just stop.
He was physically ringing up individual site owners at sites I have not played at, asking them to ban me. But my solicitors advised me that it would cost in excess of £100,000 to prosecute or to bring it to court, and it would almost be impossible to prove actual monetary damages. Sure, I could get my costs back if I won, but they said it would be very difficult for me to prove financial losses when my YouTube channel continues to grow and my ghillie suits sell all over the world. So their lies spread by First and Only Airsoft and their campaign to get me banned from sites in the UK went unchecked. And today I felt the consequences of this dehumanization in one of the most extreme ways. This is what happens when trolling stops being just trolling and becomes part of your identity in the eyes of strangers who you have never met. And today, I wanted to speak honestly with you about that situation. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. I'm not looking to blame individuals, but I do want to shine a light on what constant, long-term online harassment does, how it affects real lives, how it leads to moments like this, and worries about what happens next. Like, I'm still here, I'm still doing what I love, I'm making this video, I'm not going anywhere. Hopefully, I'm going to return to New Zealand soon enough, and hopefully the UK authorities will untangle the mess they've made of the prosecution against Dan Killip, and maybe one day the online lies will stop. And I want to ask you this. Do you blame the individuals who take extreme actions such as sabotaging my trip to New Zealand, or the person in America who threatened to shoot me with a real 9mm if I attended an event there at ACS? Or should we be asking the community to take responsibility for the online dehumanization? And I think this is part of a bigger issue in society as well, when organisations such as the BBC blatantly doctored footage of US President Trump to make it seem like he was inciting riots on Capitol Hill. So many believed it without question. Because of who it was, they just made up lies about him and people believed it. Or in the case of Charlie Kirk, who was assassinated due to online dehumanization. I think these are really important questions, that it's not just about me, it's not just about Airsoft, it's not just about our community, but it's about a bigger picture of the world right now. And I want to say thank you to everyone who does support me for what I do. I appreciate you all. And to those people who don't support me, I just want to ask you to remember one thing. I am a human being. My name is James, and I'm not just Kicking Mustang. Guys, thanks very much for watching. And if you're in New Zealand, I'm really sorry I could not attend. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.
I don't like this guy.
This man and the YouTuber. I know this man.
If you want to kill him, kill him. We didn't see a fucking thing.